On the show, in Wheelspin, we drive the Mercedes S63, the latest addition to the Mercedes portfolio in India. On the track, we go trackside to bring you the action from the first round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. Quicker Car presents the Auto Guide. And on the road, we drive the Fiat Avventura to Yelagiri from Bengaluru. I'm sure Mercedes-Benz is a company which doesn't quite like four-letter words, because two of their ex-engineers coined a set of three letters which have delighted their customers for many years. The three letters that I talk about are these: AMG. And any Mercedes that comes draped with these three letters means that they're in the business of going seriously fast. While the two letters, the A and M, stands for the first names of these two engineers. The G is in German and quite unpronounceable for me. So what I will call it is simple: an awfully fast Mercedes on the go. And the latest to join the Mercedes AMG bandwagon in India is this, the S63. The S-Class has been something which has always defined brand Mercedes in terms of luxury, comfort, style and even technology, but it never has been much about performance. But this S63 here is all set to change that, because this car has added a new dimension to luxury, that of performance. And now it's time for me to check out what kind of performance she's really capable of. I just love this deep-throated rumble of this V8 AMGs. Sounds like no other car. See what I mean? The S63 AMG is based on what the company calls the Designo platform, which means that depending on your desires, you can actually customize the car to a great extent. You can choose the exclusive colors, the leather for the upholstery, the wood for the panels, and a whole lot more in terms of features. And in these days of customization, this is something the wealthy customers of Mercedes-Benz might like very much. What you get from under this long bonnet every time you blip the throttle is unadulterated AMG power. 585 enthusiastic horses going to work without the slightest of hesitation. And this translates into quite a bit of fun if you find yourself an open stretch of road. 900 Newton meters of torque is what this 5.5 litre V8 belts out. And the power delivery is completely linear. It's a bi-turbo unit, so there is no lag whatsoever. What you get every time you throttle the car is a surge of power. If a surge of power is what you look for every time you want to throttle the car, then this car is going to keep you very, very involved. This is a car which is unapologetic about belting out one bhp after another, and this car is actually seriously fast. She does the 100 km mark in just 4.2 seconds, and that's quite fast for a car which is actually positioned as a luxury car and not an out-and-out performance car. And then there is technical wizardry thrown in, like the magic body control. What the magic body control does is scan the road ahead up to 15 meters and sets up the suspension accordingly. And this works along with the curve tilting function, which actually will incline the car automatically in a fraction of seconds on a curve to help it to grip the road even better. This is something akin to what a motorcyclist might do when going through a fast turn, and this car, depending on the speed and the angle of the corner, will do the same. Bit of magic? Yes, maybe. And the ride here, as to be expected, is a balance between a performance car and a luxury car. Okay, it handles quite well, it grips the road quite well, and you can use most of the power. But end of the day, this is not positioned as a supercar. So you are not going to corner it as hard as you will in a supercar. But that doesn't mean that for a normal everyday driving, you're not going to have some fun. Or even if you want to push it sometimes, you can do it, because the car does handle well and it does go through the corners quite confidently. In fact, it feels quite good. Once you are inside, there are little gizmos which keep you quite happy. There's a large panoramic sunroof here, magic sky control, that's what the company calls it. And it does filter in the light, and if you want a moonlit kind of an atmosphere, it does turn it into blue and gives you a nice ambience inside. And then there is this head-up display here, pretty much in the style of a fighter plane. It gives you all the display in the windscreen. Not many luxury cars have it. In fact, this is a forte of the performance cars. So this is a nice touch here, gives you a feeling that you are driving something fast. And honestly, this car is quite fast. And then there are these bolstered seats, which if you press the button here, will hold you very tightly during hard cornering. So all in all, this car does give you a very strong feeling that you are behind the wheels of a performance car as well. The engine here is mated to a 7-speed multi-clutch transmission, which is really nice and slick. It shifts in very easily, and of course, as to be expected, it comes with different modes. And also you have the pedal shifts here for quick shifting, which is to be expected in a car which actually is positioned also as a performance car. So overall, you get a very nice, neat package in the S63, a car which not only doubles up as a performance car during weekends, but is also a nice car to take you to work in on an everyday basis. These lights look very pretty, don't they? You know why? Because they got crystals in them. Yes, crystals. 47 of them in each one of them. Makes it a total of 94 Swarovski crystals in 2 headlights. And this is Mercedes' way of giving it a little more extra chic and of course a whole lot more stock value. But when I look at these lights, you know the thought that comes to my mind first? Don't go about banging this car, because in that case you are going to get one fat repair bill. In terms of the body styling too, the S63 differs from the regular S-Class, as she sports a coupe style with a slanting roofline and 2 doors, making it sleek and sporty. When you step inside this car, everything really screams to remind you that you are indeed inside a very well-crafted luxury car. Fine quality Napa leather with hand stitching on it for your seats, a touch of carbon fiber on the fascia and door trims here, a nice Burmester sound system, and of course a large display, just to name a few. In fact, everything here is full of indulgence and caters to all your creature comforts. And this is really not the end of it, because as I told you, this car sits on the Designo platform, which means again that you can actually add to the feature list as well as the color and the material of your choice. So you can make it a little more indulgent if you really want to. The only thing that you might have a problem with is the fact that this is a coupe, which means it has 2 doors. So to get into the rear, you'll have to actually fold the seat down. And if you have a touch of arthritis, that's going to be some problem. Plus, there really isn't enough space for a full-grown adult in the back seat. So in the end, you will have to compromise a bit of practicality for a touch of style. If you are the kind of a guy who wants to sit on top of the heap in terms of indulgence, then this S63 here is surely going to catch your fancy, because this is a car which offers pretty much everything in terms of luxury. And on top of it, she's refined, she's fast and good looking too. So chances are, if you are a performance junkie, you will like her too. Why I'm not able to park this in my garage is the same reason as to why many of you will not be able to park it either. It's the price. She costs an obscene rupees 2.6 crores. But if you have the moolah and you like things fast and beautiful, then go for one. But a word of caution here, don't let your chauffeur have all the fun. Drive this yourself. You would have been quite wrong if you had ever presumed that Mercedes-Benz has come cheap. But this new S63 AMG has taken it to a different level, not only in terms of luxury and performance, but also as far as the price goes, with a mind-boggling price tag of rupees 2.6 crores ex-showroom Delhi. But the company assumes that there will be enough takers for it to justify its addition to its offerings in India. The first round of the 18th JK Tyre National Racing Championship was held at the Kari Motor Speedway in Coimbatore recently. Races were held in three categories: JK Racing India Series, Formula ener-g-4 and JK Tyre Volkswagen Vento Cup. The day began with the qualifying races in these three categories, and post the qualifying, it was time for some real action. 19 Formula ener-g-4 cars lined up on the starting grid for the 15-lap race first. The ener-g cars are powered by the Maruti Suzuki 1.3-litre engines and form the entry-level category. But the action is intense as young drivers are out to prove themselves, and the twisty track with fast corners provided the right platform for some intense competition. Right from the start, it was a fight between Ajay Kini and Vishnu Prasad, who raced bumper to bumper with each other. At the end, it was the Chennai lad Vishnu from Team Miko Racing who managed to overtake Ajay and took the checkered flag, followed by Ajay Kini from Chennai of Team Dark Dawn Racing, who finished second, and Rohit Khanna, who had started from the 10th place, finished third. Vishnu continued his dominance in the second race of the day as well. The surprise element was Raghul Rangaswamy from Chennai, who leaped ahead from the 4th place and finished in the 2nd place. Kartik Shankar from New Delhi finished third. Race 1 of the JK Racing India Series had 10 Indian and 2 international race drivers scorching the track in the powerful JK FB02 cars, which are powered by a BMW motorcycle engine and capable of speeds of over 200 km on the straights. Akhil Ravindra from Bengaluru, who started off from the pole position, proved to be a serious contender and maintained his lead throughout the 15-lap race. It was a fight for the second position as Dhruv Mohite, who had started off from 4th place, raced past other drivers and finished second. Vishnu Prasad could manage to graduate only to 3rd place while starting 5th, given the tough competition. Due to technical glitch, Daljit Sandeep Kumar, Akash Gaura and Krishnaraj Mahadik did not finish the race. Making a shift from the Polo series, the newly introduced Volkswagen Vento Cup put up a fantastic ride along the track. The grid of 22 drivers showcased an action-packed race day, with the experienced Sailesh Pulsetti from Visakhapatnam, who dominated through the 15 laps of the race and eventually took the checkered flag. Finishing in 2nd place was Anindit Reddy Konda from Hyderabad and Karbinder Singh from Delhi, who finished in the 3rd position.
We have a query from Deepta Dikshit, who lives in Indore. Now, she's quite keen on selling her car Indica, but is worried about the constant calls from unknown people. She wants to know if there's any way to avoid this. Deepa, you don't need to worry at all when you post your ad on Quicker Cars. Like you're seeing now on screen, the moment you share your details and opt for number privacy, nobody will get to know your contact number and it will be kept private. But all prospective buyers will be able to chat with you through your ad ID. You can then filter the right buyer based on your comfort and MSP. Quicker Car exclusively allows you to keep your contact details private to avoid unwanted calls and ensure that you get the best price with minimum hassles.
I'm at the Fiat showroom in Bangalore, and this is actually more than just a showroom. They call it the Fiat Cafe. Because if you're car shopping, you can come in here, enjoy a cup of coffee while you also take in some Fiat memorabilia and of course admire the cars on offer. But I'm here today to select the car that I'm going to be taking on my next road trip. I'm going to be driving the Avventura today. It's one of my favorite cars for a road trip because I think it really combines a sense of adventure with a sense of luxury perfectly. And today I'm headed to Yelagiri, which is just 150 kilometers away from Bangalore. It's a hill station in the Eastern Ghats and I believe it's beautiful. So let me get behind the wheel.
While it's always taxing to make your way out of the city given Bangalore traffic, once you've exited, it's a very pretty drive. Yelagiri is 4 hours away on NH7. It's an ideal getaway for nature lovers or those looking to spend some tranquil moments with friends and family. But be sure to fill up fuel in the plains before the climb. There is no petrol station in Yelagiri. You know you're getting close to Yelagiri once you hit hilly terrain. 4,100 feet above sea level, the drive up the hill has 14 hairpin bends, and each one has been named after a Tamil poet. But the gorgeous panoramic views more than make up for the slow winding ascent.
The Avventura is a lot of fun to drive. The variant I'm driving today is the 1.4-litre petrol engine, and it's nice and fuel efficient. It delivers 15.5 kilometers to the litre. It's also smooth and powerful, and I'm really liking the driving position. The high ground clearance makes it all the more suited to a road trip. From my first glimpse of Yelagiri, I'm already starting to fall in love with the place. It's so quiet. The only sound I hear is the sound of birdsong. There's not that much traffic. It's very green. It really does seem like the perfect place for a weekend getaway. And I've only just reached. I've just stopped by a viewing point to take in the breathtaking panorama of the valley below. And it's a little foggy today, but I'm still seeing a lot of green. I'm a big fan of aerial views.
Even in a place like this, which seems so quiet, there is plenty to do if you enjoy nature. So my first stop is the lake.
The lake is Yelagiri's most popular tourist attraction, and it's located in the center of a nature park, which is a lovely place to walk around, just appreciating the greenery and these magnificent views of the sparkling water in the distance. The best way to enjoy Yelagiri is to take in its natural beauty by walking around in its beautiful gardens and parks. There's no better way than just strolling amidst the trees, taking in all the greenery. The interiors of the Avventura are both spacious and stylish. The seats are generously proportioned and comfortable. There's a lot of leg room. I'm really impressed with the air conditioning and the stereo system. It's nice and cool in my car. The music sounds super. And there are these really cool high terrain gauges here which are very useful on a road trip. So let's roll.
Now time to explore the fruit markets and nurseries.
Yelagiri is famous for its fruit orchards. So if you're a fruit lover like me, this can seem like paradise because you're going to find here not just the obvious varieties like jackfruit and bananas. You're also going to find some really exotic indigenous fruit like these giant figs here or dragon fruit. They even have rambutan and star fruit. Now these are varieties that you normally find in countries like Thailand. They're not so easily seen in India, but they grow right here in Yelagiri. And I love fruit, so I'm definitely going to be stocking up on some fresh fruit before I head back. Just as it's famous for its fruit, Yelagiri is also famous for its plants. And you can tell that the climate here is just so conducive to plants growing in abundance. Just look at this nursery. Everything is so lush and green, and there's all sorts of flowering plants and aquatic plants, and you name it, it's here. It's the perfect combination of wet and cool in Yelagiri. So the plant life here is just astounding. I noticed anthuriums and orchids, beautiful passion fruit flowers. I mean, you name it, as I said, you name it and you will find it in Yelagiri. After a lovely time in Yelagiri, I can tell you that as far as accommodation goes, there's a lot of options. All the places tend to be small and cozy but neat and clean, and they're perfect for a little weekend away. Now, one thing's for sure, if you're coming to Yelagiri, you must carry a sweater or shawl with you because it tends to be cold all through the year. There's a little nip in the air, which is a wonderful thing actually, but you should be well prepared.
What was most striking to me about Yelagiri is its quietude. The beautiful rustic surroundings offer such tranquility and silence. The smells of mango and jackfruit plantations are diluted by the subtle fragrances of foliage. You suddenly realize how close you are to nature.
Yelagiri is the ideal place for a laid-back and slow-paced holiday. It's wonderfully green, it's quiet and peaceful, there's enough to do for both adults and children, so it's a great option for a family road trip. And of course, my trip was made all the more enjoyable because I had the Avventura on my hands, and it's a car that's both smooth and comfortable, yet sturdy and reliable. It's been a really good travel partner, and I hope that you'll join us on the show again next week as I continue to drive this beautiful car to another beautiful South Indian hill station. Thanks for tuning in.